Welcome back, y'all. It is the Talkin' Cock podcast. Once again, Ryan, it has been months since we have actually sat down and done a recording. How you doing, man?
It's been like 3 months?
Yeah.
3 months
3?
since
Yeah.
we last recorded because it was December and
Holidays and New Year and
yeah,
everything. I mean, we were going through launch too. We were hustling.
we were hustling. We
Yeah,
had a
we've
lot
been
of
pushing
backlog.
content out. Yep.
Yeah,
Which
but
we did on
now,
purpose.
yeah, we did it on purpose to have a good launch.
Yeah.
Now we're back recording
Exactly.
TNC with R&E.
The dream team. No longer
right.
the TNC podcast, but now officially the Talkin' Cock.
Yeah,
which is good.
I think we were just a bit afraid to it's kind of abrasive, to put cock
it
right
is.
in your name.
Yeah.
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 You're like, oh, this is an
Yeah, it
interesting
is.
podcast. You got the bubblegum pink cock. It's a little bit jarring.
It is a little bit jarring, especially for just random people scrolling through, seeing what podcasts to do, talking cock. It's a little much.
What is
It's a
a
little
podcast
much.
where they
but,
talking? What? Talking what?
It has been a ride, though. I'll say that for sure.
We've been enjoying it.
We have been, and we've both brought some new things into our routines too, and just kind of getting a hold of our lives, kind of.
Yeah, this adds a lot of structure to my life that I didn't have before we were doing this.
Yeah,
it was a very loosey-goosey type thing. I go to work, I come home, I do whatever
you wanted,
and then I go to work again. And I didn't have a structure. It kind of made me less responsible. But now I edit something every day,
which is incredible.
I edit something every day.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a 1 hour session,
maybe not incredible, but it's better than your previous routine. So
yes, it's improvements. I'll take improvements.
It is improvements.
We've both been incorporating better things slowly but surely, and now we're just trying to have a good streak.
Yeah. Just keeping it up for as long as we can. If I miss one day, it's not like
you missed one day, but then you've worked out for the past 30 days, so it's like, okay, bro, I think we're fine.
Exactly. And going from not doing that every day to doing it, that's already just a huge step.
And then also adding these things in very organically rather than forcing ourselves to do it. I've been working out more and more. It wasn't every day, but it was once a week and a couple times a week, 3 times a week. And now I'm trying to keep a streak of going same with editing. I would edit a good amount, a lot, most days, but then now it's okay, let's try every day. So it's more organic, it's slow growth. But how about we talk about just our experience with posting and launching the channels finally?
Whew. I think it's definitely a great thing to talk about. It's going from for me, because I've done it before, doing all of the socials and everything. It's been a lot more content than I was used to putting out there on the daily type of thing. But we've kind of structured this workflow to really work with our schedules, and we kind of pre-schedule most of our posts just to come out when they're supposed to, so that because both of us have full-time jobs, both of us have things that we do outside of the podcast. This is we're not making money on this right now. We're not.
This is a hobby for us.
This isn't a full-time thing that we're we need to
it's not a job, it's a passion.
Exactly. It is a passion project for sure.
I think what's been interesting is identifying our identity as a podcast. We're you go back to our first episode and we're no structure. We even say this, no structure. We might even play games while we're doing this. Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was we may have topics sometimes to add structure, but most of the time it's just going to be free flowing or something along those lines. And
and then we
That
get to
is
like
entirely changed.
we get the last episode or episode before about like religion, and it's like we
Yeah,
planned that out meticulously. Like we wanted to talk about these things,
yeah,
and just kind of identifying, who we are as like a brand and a podcast. I think is really interesting because you
oh, for
wrote
sure.
something in our social like bios that like really resonated with me. You didn't even like run it by me because I mean you already know like what you're doing. So like I don't
Yeah.
we don't have to talk about what we're gonna put in the fucking bio. You're not a fucking idiot. But you
You
wrote
sure? You sure? Sometimes.
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 But
Sometimes.
you wrote a lighthearted men's mental health podcast. I think that's
Mhm,
exactly correct because I've even heard this from our friends who listen to it.
mhm.
It's it's heavy sometimes because
It
we're
is
just
heavy.
kind of trauma dumping.
It does
at,
get
the,
heavy.
at the end of the day, we're just kind of trauma dumping and like talking about our problems and just kind of like
And
venting. We're just kind of venting
eh,
to each other in this.
we do, and we get, like, I don't know, we'll go from, a very, very lighthearted, like, "Oh, haha, yeah, I was driving the other day," and then it's like, "When I was 6, I lost everything," and it's just like, "Whoa!" Like, that shit came out of left field, but we've kinda gone in gone we've gone in that
Kind
direction.
of gooning in that direction.
We we kinda, like, went in that direction after we kinda, like, analyzed all of our content that we have done so far.
Yeah,
Like, all of the previous recordings that we've done, all of the topics that we've talked about, it's like, we really do kind of focus more on that, like,
the
m
mental health kind of side. It's something we're
yeah,
both like
and
interested in talking about too.
yeah. Yeah, and no, it's insanely interesting to me, and I just like, even if I don't know everything I need to know about the subject, I'm still gonna,
You're gonna try and give your opinion on it.
y-
Like,
yeah, and
that's
if
kinda
I
like
don't,
the
yeah,
vibe I got. We don't have studies, we don't pull up numbers, and,
yeah,
like, at points, like, we can maybe even come off a little ignorant on some
yeah,
things.
yeah,
And that's okay. I'm
because
not
we're talking about our experiences. We're not talking about the general
Yeah,
public.
we're
We're not
basing
talking
everything
about
off
all
our
men.
own
You know?
experiences, which
Yeah,
brings me into something else I wanna talk about,
yeah.
which was
Shoot,
getting our first bit of hate comments.
that was interesting.
It was kind of
That
funny.
was it really was. I'll pull it up on my other screen in case we wanna,
I think we can
do a
little
little snippet of what was said,
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say we can read a little bit off and like I guess respond. Like this isn't gonna be like a regular thing because we don't want to encourage people to like send hate to get
yeah,
noticed. I kind of wanted to talk because that was always a big fear of mine when doing anything social media is that negative reaction
yeah,
to something I was making because I try
yeah,
to like
for sure,
I have my emotions too much caught into it. I
for
think we
sure.
both did when we first saw it, where we were both like a little upset. We both wanted to respond because like you're so fucking wrong. You don't even know me like that. Um,
I like, for me, like, the first time, like, when I first saw it, I, like, literally wrote out a paragraph, and then I was looking at it, and I was like, "I don't need to respond to this right now.
that,
I'll
that's
talk
ex-
to"
that's
I was
exactly
like,
the
I'm
reaction
probably
I
gonna
had.
talk to Ryan about this later because
Yeah, I was like, I'll just save it for when I talk to Eli. Like the
yeah.
same day, like when we saw it, we talked to each. We had scheduled to talk to each other the same day, so it's like, okay, we'll just talk about it later. If I had something like written out and everything, I was like, "You're so fucking wrong, you fucking bitch." Yeah.
See, I went the entirely opposite direction. I was, like, trying to defend our, point of view, and then I'm like, who gives a shit?
It's like honestly,
It's
I don't really. Why should I care what you think? I came to
like,
that conclusion. Like I was,
most of this shit is.
I dealt with it, but then I was like, oh wait, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It really doesn't
yeah,
matter. This is some random stranger on the internet whose only context on who we are is a 30-second YouTube short.
yeah,
That's the only context they have on who we are as people.
yeah,
So it's like
and
I have almost 24 years of experience knowing who I am,
mhm,
and you have 30 seconds. So it's like, okay, I know more than you on this subject. And then also, like, they don't have the context of the full episode either. Talk about, like, oh, well,
yeah,
how is this the hardest time? Bro, this ain't the hardest time in your life. What the fuck? And it's like, compared to we're two guys who recently left college
Mhm.
and we're getting
We're
into adult life.
approaching our mid-20s.
Yeah, and this is the
And
hardest time for us to meet
yeah,
people. Like this has been the
yeah,
hardest time because we were in school where we're always socialized with people, same people every day. And
yeah.
then we were also in college together, surrounded by thousands and thousands of people, different clubs, different opportunities to get to know people, and that lessens as you go into adult life.
Exactly. And like this was literally from episode 3, which was about respectful relationships. It was about like like you said, it was 30 seconds long. 30 seconds long. It was a literal clip from episode 3, which was over an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Um
hour and 20 minutes.
hour
Hour
and
and
20
20.
minutes. Yeah. And it's like we got these like paragraphs of people just disagreeing with us, and then we met and
It
talked about
wasn't
it, and
like
we're
that
like,
serious. It wasn't that serious. It's not that deep.
No, no, but like some of these people kind of went off. Not
Yeah,
like entirely, like it
I
definitely
th-
could have been worse. I mean, it can always be worse,
I think
but
people just came across it and then were like triggered, and then so they
yeah,
just kind of vented. Like we're venting in our episodes, they're venting in our comments.
yeah, yeah.
Their frustration.
Which is fine, if it ends up that way for people to comment, like if that's a
If it's a good way of
if
expressing
that
yourself, cool,
yeah,
man. But I
if
think
that's a space for them to just kind of rant and
yeah,
say what they need to say and then leave and then never return, like
but it's like
you do
I
you.
don't know, like I can't really take people seriously, especially when like it's not even like constructive criticism or anything,
No,
you
it's just
know?
saying like you guys are wrong and have no idea
Or
what's going on.
literally there was one where it's like my generation is wasting their breath. I'm like, "What the fuck?" That's like, "Damn, bro, like why what did I do?" And here's the thing, it was the clip where you were mostly talking. And it's like,
Hmm.
"You both
Hmm.
are fuckers."
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
"I wasn't even talking, I didn't say anything."
I'm pretty sure all you said was like, "Oh yeah, I agree. It is hard to
It was
form
like
relationship, or
I was literally
it
like,
is
"Uh-huh,
hard to meet
yeah."
people."
And it's like,
Yeah,
"You
but
fucker." The way you said, "Uh-huh."
it's like
Like,
you
what did I
guys.
do, bro? I just
I'm just reading. I'm reading over that one that really got us not worked up when we were reading about it, but it was the funniest one where they
or it
told us
was
to
like
touch grass.
yeah, it was essentially touch grass. I'm like, how is this a
It
valid, like, criticism? Like, we both, for one, have full-time jobs on top
exactly.
of this,
Live
and
alone.
and in
Pay our bills
well,
alone.
here's the thing. In our episode, we literally talk about different methods that we're, trying to meet people with.
Yeah.
Like finding same hobbies and then going to places that experience those hobbies. Like I said, oh, I really want to go to like Smash tournaments. I will meet people who like Super Smash Brothers like me. We offer solutions to our own problems in the episode, but like again, it's 30-second clip. They don't have that context. We don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's like I just found it very interesting to get
Hmm.
our very first bit of hate and how we reacted. It like upset us at first, but then we kind of got a hold of ourselves and you know
Yeah, we just kind of just like
brushed it off.
analyzed each thing and like see like, oh well,
Is
what were
anything
they trying
valid
to say with
here,
that? Yeah,
or is
yeah.
it
Like,
just
is
like
there
a
any?
waste of time and space?
Yeah, and essentially, I'm pretty sure all of the comments on that video were a waste of us. Like, if we were to have commented back or replied to them, it would have
It
been a
wouldn't be
waste of our
worth
time.
it.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we kind of are now, but it's like it's more like the experience of getting negative reaction like firsthand because the internet does it
Hmm.
all the time to like everybody. So it's not like a new
Yeah,
thing. You go on Twitter,
yeah.
you say the wrong thing, and you're gonna get a bunch of fucking haters in your comment, even
Hmm.
if you're a fucking like nobody. You just
Yeah.
comment under like a famous celebrity and say something, and they're like, fuck you."
Yeah, no, I mean, same thing on, TikTok. It's like, one person will comment something and then boom, they have 100 replies. It's like, damn, that was a little
Or like
excessive.
just a little clip of
But
us, and it's like my entire generation. It's wasting their breath.
wasting It's just, it is funny to me though because
I
um
think it helped me a little bit to like be less self conscious about it.
like less worried about what people think.
Like instead of like analyzing every single thing that I put out there on video form on the internet, I
Hmm.
think I'm more content, at least at the moment, to just put things out there and not think too much about them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll make my
No,
content, I'll do my editing and everything, but then it's out there and there's nothing I can do about it. There's no way I can change people's perception of it. I shouldn't worry about
and like that's how it was for me because in the past all of the social media stuff that I've done has never been in like this type of like openness. They were for brands and stuff, and it was like with upholding a brand's image, and that's kind of it. Like there was no like hate coming towards us because all of the places I was at were not doing anything
Yeah,
bad.
but this is
um
your face on the cover of this podcast.
yeah, yeah.
You're literally a
And
host on the podcast. Your name's in like the banners and everything. Like this is you.
no, yeah, yeah. So it was a little nerve wracking because I think in our first couple episodes I think our like not necessarily that we had like a filter set, but we were being a lot more like conscious about like what words we were saying, and we still are, with things that matter, like
Yeah.
people's names
Well, also we
and
didn't
like
know what the
companies
podcast was
and
gonna be.
exactly. And like now we have a pretty solid idea of where of the momentum of where we want to go.
Yeah.
It's been a ride, man.
It's been a ride, and one whole month of TNC
Yeah, as of
at this moment,
yeah,
which I
which
think
is
is really cool. Because I had a personal YouTube channel before. I still have
mhm,
it, but it's like, I would post very inconsistently and shit like that. But
yeah.
this has been a consistent part of my life since. Well, do you want to say how long we've been planning this and shit? How long we've been cooking in the kitchen?
We can. But it's been almost
It's like 8 months
yeah, almost 8 months.
that we've been like
Um
planning, talk about it. Like obviously we weren't recording 8 months ago. That's not
yeah.
what we were doing. But
But our first piece of content that had branding on it was created like 5 months ago, which is nuts.
yeah,
Wait, no, no, no. 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
6 months ago. We did the math yesterday. Um and, it's just it is wild to think that all of that time has already just flown by.
It's been great. I've had a great time. So what are
We gotta get
some big changes that's been going on in your life since we've recorded last? Because it has been a minute.
um it has been a minute. So a couple months ago,
Sippy cup.
my throat's like closing up.
You're nervous. I get it. I
um
get it. You're afraid of more hate.
so c- I
I'm
want
gonna
to
leave
say a
hate
couple
comments
months
on our own
ago.
videos about you. Sorry. Um,
Cool, cool. Off of your personal.
no, I'll actually use the TNC one this time.
Just talk
On
shit
our
back
own
to our
videos, on
own
our own
content.
channel, it'll be our own account. It'll say Eli's a fucking bitch, bro. Like he just doesn't know anything. And you'll be like, no, more hate comments. Where are these coming from?
And then I'm like, oh, it was us. But yeah, no, a couple months ago I started recording like me just playing games of like different roguelikes and stuff, which has always been it's always kind of been in the back of my mind. I've been watching YouTube for like 12 years at this point
Yeah, and you
or
watch a lot
more.
of
I
roguelike content too.
yeah, yeah, which I will say is much more recent. Like, I haven't always been this big into roguelikes. When I first started watching YouTube, it was like primarily like Minecraft and TF2 and Halo Reach and like those types of things. And then now, I've done a lot of exploring in the like multiplayer games and stuff, and I've kind of found what I really enjoy doing, which is playing roguelikes, which have a different gaming experience every time you play the game.
Yeah, every single time.
Yeah, essentially every single time that you play the game. And
I mean, you love
I've been
roguelikes. We both love roguelikes so much. We have an episode that was never released
yes,
about
we do. We
solely about
do.
roguelikes. Solely about
Yeah,
roguelikes.
solely about roguelikes because we weren't sure if we were gonna have any gaming topics on the channel or on the podcast at all. And
Yeah,
then
and
we're like,
so like
well,
well when we got to like, episode 5 was episode 6, you know.
yeah.
But then when we get to that and we're like talking about very serious stuff, maybe a bit too serious at times, not enough lightheartedness, but it's like
A little bit.
you go from your religious beliefs and how you were traumatized growing up to then being like, I really like the Binding of Isaac. It really changed the generation of roguelikes in games and stuff. So it really inspired a lot of work. Oh, also, when I was 9 years old, I thought I was gonna die.
I think we made the right choice, taking it out, but it is still funny
it
though that
was it was
we, you
practice,
know,
it was practice doing
yeah, it
podcasting.
was. I don't know. Anyway, so I've been just kind of recording my gameplay, and Ryan, you have actually been helping me out doing or helping me out with some edits,
Edits and like
and
ideas in general, like of where
yeah,
to
and I've started posting those videos to my YouTube channel, which is just really
promo,
crazy.
shameless promo.
Yeah, I'll put in the description. Don't worry. So I started streaming too, which has been really fun.
Yeah,
Um,
I think like you got your first huge stream. Like what you want to talk about that? Like
huh?
long stream. Your first like very very long stream.
Oh, I did a 7 hour. I did a
Yeah,
7 hour
which is
stream the other weekend,
crazy to me.
and I sadly played all of the same game because it was what 2 days after it came out. It
Yeah,
was fully released, and it's been like 4 months since we've been waiting to post my demo footage, and then
and the full game
the
came
game
out.
came out,
Yeah,
and then I only had 2 episodes out of the demo, and then now I'm like, well, now I already have full release gameplay, so let's just
maybe not released.
it's okay, we can scrap it.
Well,
But
it's because we were working so much on TNC, and like
yeah,
I
no,
was
we
putting my
we
full editing force into that.
yeah, no,
And
thank
the way we
thank
talk
God.
about it with our ideas and stuff on how to take a channel, I think it's just really
Hmm.
fascinating.
It is,
What
it
else has
is, and
been fascinating too is like the little changes we make along the way, how they make a
mhm,
difference. Like there was a short that had the word blistery in it. It's a made up fucking word.
yeah,
And
it literally Ryan said it in the clip, and I was just like blistery instead of history.
yeah,
And
and
I
I
just
went in
put
there.
blistery in the caption, and it got like three views after like 5 days, and then
And then I went in like on my fucking lunch break from work, and I was like, "Is it because it's like just blistery? Does it not like the word blistery?" And so I just changed blistery to history, and then it popped off instantly.
it got like 200 in a day, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, and
Okay,
it was like a few days old at that point already, so it was already
yeah,
like
it was.
irrelevant. And I just changed one word in like our description, and
And then it
it got a
got
lot
pushed
more
to the algorithm again, which is
crazy.
just nuts. It is just nuts. But yeah, no, I've been really enjoying that. But you've been making some little plans on relaunching your channel.
Not okay.
Not
Yes
not
and
like
no.
officially. Like there's ideas in the works
I mean,
type of thing.
it's an idea that's gonna happen when I get a new car.
Yeah.
Update on the new car. Carvana, fuck you. Because holy shit, Carvana fucking sucks. I was talking about my other episodes, like, oh, it's so good to do. Clapping my hands like a fucking seal, talking about it. And everyone's like, oh, Carvana's so great. Yeah, well, the day I'm supposed to get the fucking car, right? I have him deliver it to my dad's house because, he has like a better, driveway and everything, his own driveway, so it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Live in an apartment complex, it's a very small parking lot. It wouldn't make sense
Yeah.
to bring a fucking tow truck in there. So I drive all the way to his fucking house. I'm ready to exchange my fucking car for a better car,
Mhm.
right? I already
Mhm.
signed all the fucking like contracts and stuff. Of course, it's not finalized until you sign it in person with the driver. But
Gotcha.
the driver was supposed to have it delivered between 5 and 8 p.m. 5 o'clock, they call me. I'm already at my dad's because I prepared. And then they call,
You're already waiting there to receive the car
yeah,
whenever it arrived, right?
and they call, and like the driver calls, and it's like, so I turned on the car, and it's making this like squealing noise. What? It's making a fucking squeal. What do you mean? Don't you guys do a check? It's like, well, they checked it. They said it was fine, but like, I feel like if I bring this, then you're gonna like not want to take it because as soon as you turn it on, it's gonna. Because with Carvana, you can take a test drive before you fully
Yeah,
accept the car. If I turned that on and it was squealing like a fucking pig
yeah,
down the fucking street,
yeah.
I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have signed
taken it.
off on it.
I don't want a car that sounds worse than the one I already have, which my car sounds bad. Is not in good shape. But I
Can
don't want one
confirm.
that somehow sounds worse.
Yeah, yeah. When you're paying money to buy a new one, it's like, okay,
Yeah, and so like, but this happens exactly when it's supposed to be fucking delivered.
literally at 5 o'clock.
And they were like, well, I could if you saw another car that you liked, I could bring that one instead. I'm like, for one, you don't have anyone to check the fucking car, so like, even if I were to choose another one, there could be more problems with that one because you guys haven't checked that one. You checked this one because I was gonna buy it.
And didn't you already had the numbers ran on the new one that you were planning on purchasing? So you're like, okay, so now I'm gonna have to run the numbers on whatever other car that I
Yeah,
want. It's like,
like
no,
it'll be
that's
a
not how
whole
this.
new set of fucking payments, numbers, everything.
Yeah,
And I didn't think I would need a fucking backup car. A
yeah,
car is a
yeah.
huge investment already. It's like if you go to buy a house and it's like, "Oh, yeah, this house has like a leak. How about this one instead?" And it's this fucking like haunted mansion.
Oh, this one had water damage last night.
Take this house instead.
There's a there's a mobile home park down the road. It's like, no, that's not what I signed up
Well, it's
for,
a
you
really
know?
nice mobile home. No, like what the fuck?
It's luxury. It's luxury,
It's a
trust me.
huge commitment already. Like, and I go through all
Yeah.
the effort
No,
to send them
they
my
got
information to fill
yeah,
out all
fucked
the
over.
shit that took forever. I even like bought like a new deed because we couldn't find mine in time, and the fact that like, or I bought a new copy of the deed, but like then the fact that like last second just boom gone. Bro, I was pissed. I was pissed, bro. So all this to say that I'm going to be launching a movie channel about movie reviews. The goal is to see every movie that comes out every month and to do a review on it. That is also why I've been editing every day to get in the
So
habit
that
so that I
yeah,
can edit all this content. And
you're already on that grind set once you start.
yeah, I want the habit to already be there, so that's just easier.
Mhm.
But all this relies on me getting a new car because if I drove mine a bunch of times to the movies, I would wear it down more. And right now, I only go to work and back.
Yeah.
That's all I do. And sometimes on the way back from work, I'll stop by my family's house. It's on the way. But otherwise, no. I need a new car in order to have a consistent. Because I don't want to launch a YouTube channel and then my car
Yeah.
break down, and then I can't even do that anymore. It wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
Yeah.
waiting. But once
It's
I get that, then
yeah.
that's my plan. And I had a YouTube channel before. I'm gonna make a whole new.
You had a couple like over the last 10 years, right?
Yeah, so I had a YouTube channel with my friend from back home. I had two YouTube channels with him. Well,
I'll
one
let you.
was in high school, and the other one
Yeah.
was when we were both kind of like in those like adult, like young adult years. We both posted on it for a little while, but it was inconsistent. And what exactly was the channel anyway? And so I made my own YouTube channel,
Mhm.
but I knew that I wanted my own identity, but I didn't know what that was. But the thing I keep coming back to is I love talking about movies, and
You love seeing
I love
movies.
seeing movies. I'll go to the theater by myself. I'll have a subscription to the movie theater. again, long-term plans, my dream is to make movies.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to pull like a Matt Pat from Game Theory, where it's like I'm gonna create this channel for fun, for about something I
Mhm.
like to do, and produce something that I enjoy. But it's also gonna be a portfolio of me, hopefully, seeming like I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
It's exciting stuff.
It's just,
You know, once you finally get there, it'll be
but now that I have
uh,
the idea of what it actually is going to be, I can actually have a
yeah.
YouTube channel. Before I didn't know it was going to be. And I just had one
Yeah.
video kind of pop off when I was reacting to memes, so I was like, "Oh, that's what I'll do."
Yeah.
But then I didn't enjoy it and I fucking stopped.
Yeah. These like didn't the like I think the reaction content was from when we lived together, and like the last one that you did, you were like, I don't really even
No,
like.
we weren't living together at that point. I was
Oh,
already
okay.
in like this place.
Oh,
I
I
was
gotcha.
doing I was actually doing movie and like TV series reviews when we were living together.
But didn't you do like some reaction content? Like some
There
or
was
some
no
like
reaction
meme
content.
content?
I mean, sometimes I'll make TikToks.
Oh, okay. It was the TikToks. It wasn't like full videos. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
but but yeah, that's
Oh yeah, and you also had you had your old laptop, so
yeah. That's
probably wouldn't have
also
made.
another reason why we can do the podcast and I can actually
Yeah,
have a YouTube channel before, because when I was doing my own YouTube channel, I didn't have this PC, which is
yeah,
not like a $4,000 PC, but it's
yeah,
nice and it works really
yeah.
well. And I can
And it
actually
lets you play games
lets me
and
play
edit
any
videos
games I
and
want. I can
do
edit videos I
anything.
want. Like it runs perfectly fine. Cyber
Hmm.
power PCs. Hell yeah, love you. Well,
I
you
got
got me
Ryan
into it.
hooked on
I
it,
will completely
and
say
I've
that
been hooked on it for the last like 8 years.
Eli got me hooked on it, and he is absolutely correct. It's fucking amazing. You know,
They essentially can assemble the whole entire PC for you, ship it to you, and all you do is pull out the installation and then
dude, literally all I
plug
did.
it in, and boom.
That's literally all I did.
Yeah,
Plug it in.
yeah.
It works great. No issues at all. So smooth compared to like even like a fucking laptop like setup. It was just
Hmm.
so easy to set this up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, even
So
like you mean like laptop setups, like when you get a new laptop and have to like
yeah,
go through the whole. Yeah.
yeah, it was even
Go through
easier
the
than
whole,
that.
like, installation of all those things, set up all of your personal preferences, and it's like with PCs, it's just like, "No, I'll skip this for I'll do this later," and, like, with in 5 minutes, you're in. You can fucking play off Steam now.
Yeah, I was literally like
It's nuts.
within 10 minutes turning it on. I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna download all my games and stuff. Like it was that easy.
Oh, that's
But all
awesome.
that saying is like when I had my own YouTube channel, the way I would edit
Mhm.
videos and film them all through my cell phone,
Which is nuts.
because I would sit there like this with my fucking phone and edit for 5 hours straight. 5 hours. I'm not exaggerating at all. I would take like 5 hours out of like one of my days off from work to just edit until I'm done.
Off of your phone, like, in landscape?
Yeah, I had no.
Oh,
Oh no, it
that
wasn't.
hurts my eyes.
You think
That hurts my eyes just thinking
you
about it.
think it was in landscape? I could tell you it's not.
That hurts my eyes.
It hurt mine too. But like I had
I'm
no
sure.
idea of what pacing was. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like the workflow, I was just like, I need to get this video
Yeah.
done. If I stop halfway through, I'm not gonna know what I was doing.
So you just had to, like, get them done all in one sitting.
Yeah, I wanted to get everything done in one sitting. Not only did I get tired of the content I was filming, but then I also
Mhm.
got tired of the process of creating that content, because it was highly edited content, and then just staring at this little fucking box the entire
Yeah,
time.
that's because you couldn't even do it on your laptop.
No,
I mean, and you had that laptop for the whole time, but, like,
I could not.
there was just there was no way it was gonna run.
The only thing I used my laptop for in my content was to record audio.
Could you even like, did you have, like, OBS on it?
Yeah,
Could you run it?
I could run it. I could run it. But
Okay.
there would be a little problem when when I go back to listen to the video and I hear I wasn't
That
vacuuming.
makes sense.
I was not vacuuming.
Oh, you weren't?
No,
Oh,
no,
you
I
weren't?
wasn't. I wasn't. I have a dirty house. Um, I actually used my laptop to clean my house. Like the fans were so like powerful, it would blow the dust out of the carpet.
You didn't even buy a fan when we lived together and it got really hot that one month. You just turned your laptop on and like ran as many applications as you could to
Well,
keep
the
the
fan
fan
would
going,
go,
right?
blow out hot air, so I actually used it in the winter. Instead of building a
Oh, for
campfire,
like a heater.
instead of building a campfire
Oh,
when I go camping, I just turn on my laptop and
that's
I
really
turn on like a
smart.
Twitch stream, and then I'm just like, ooh, a toasty.
That's really smart. That's
Literally, when I would
have
like
you ever
pick it up on the side, it would like really be like hot. I'm like,
like
dang,
burn your hand almost?
almost. It was like,
That's
this is uncomfortable. I'll hold this for a second longer though.
that's like my laptop in high school. They gave us those like Lenovo. Like it was cool. It was a Lenovo like flip. So
Yeah,
it was a laptop, but if you just flip the screen around, you could use it as a tablet and use the stylus
that's
with
cool.
it. So like I took notes on it like in high school and stuff, but if I was like literally even just like running like Outlook and like a YouTube video, it would be like and I'm like, what? Like I'm not and it's supposed to be like meant for productivity, so it's just
Like using Microsoft
not,
Word. You like type in, and
yeah, and it
it's like
would
every letter.
freeze up. It would freeze. It would literally freeze up on me. So when I was preparing to go to college, I was like, all right, well, I was gonna take this to college, but I got to get something better.
Yeah,
And that's when
and
I
to
got
be
my
fair,
that's when I got my
I am
MacBook.
grateful for the laptop I had. I had a lot
Yeah,
worse
yeah,
equipment before that,
yeah, yeah.
so I am very
And
grateful.
it was a
It was a
gift too.
graduation gift from my grandparents.
Yeah,
They wanted,
so
they
sweet.
got the same laptop as well. So they were like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I'm getting this one. I'll get this one for our grandson. He's graduating, go to college." And I
Yeah.
did use it in college a lot, so it was not a waste. It was very
You got
helpful.
yeah,
I got I got
you
great
got
use
your
out of
work out
it,
of it.
but it wasn't like, because now I'm doing other stuff that
Yeah.
requires different specs.
It is crazy though as like as we like get older and like change our hobbies and stuff like what we need to like keep them running, you
Yeah.
know? Like I would not be able to do any of this podcast stuff without the equipment I have today.
Oh yeah.
And most of that equipment has been acquired in the last like 2-3 years. And I've had this PC for 7-8 years,
Oh yeah. And having like
which
a proper PC is like,
it
it
changes
changes
everything.
everything. When I would turn on my laptop, this it takes 30 minutes before I can really do anything. I would just turn it on and try to log in 5 times because it would freeze up. So like 30 minutes
And
to do anything.
the sad thing is I know that's not an exaggeration because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yep. This sucker,
Oh, do you Yep.
it's in my desk. This sucker took so long to turn on and do anything. And I playing Overwatch on that thing with like 3 pixels on literally the lowest resolution you could possibly have.
I can't imagine what that was like.
And I still was pretty decent. But but yeah, then I get this. I press the button, and within 5 seconds, I can like log in. I
Mhm.
can put in my pin, and it's on. It's ready to go.
Yep. Yeah. It's
Just,
a game
it's
changer.
life changing, bro. It's
It's a
life
game
changing.
changer. And I even did my little RAM upgrade on my PC a couple I don't even know how many months ago it's been at this point, but like
It's been a
before
minute.
I upgraded the hardware I had, I was getting slowdowns. Like I turn on the computer and I wouldn't be able to log in for like a minute or
Yeah.
2 minutes. And then once I logged in, it would take like 5 minutes for it to boot up all of the
It
applications
was like the
or
disk
like
use was always
just
like 100%.
yeah. Like my RAM was always at like 95%. Like I think I was playing Overwatch one time and not on ultra everything, but I looked over at my little gauge and it said RAM 100%. And then Overwatch crashed and then I was like, "Oh,
I think I need a
okay."
change.
Yeah, so I upgraded and now it doesn't go past, fucking 40%, which is
Yeah. Like I
incredible.
have
I fucking
a
love it.
million tabs open on this other screen that you gave me. Much props, thanks.
Woo woo.
Even though I didn't get a car from Carvana, literally I think the day after you gave me this monitor. So, gracias.
And I might be giving you another one, even though you don't need it.
I don't know, take it.
Because you don't have room.
Fucking take. I'll put like a monitor in front of the other two, and then if I need to look at the other screen, I'll be like,
Just like tape it, like tape the base of it on top of your other monitor. Just like duct tape it, like duct tape the top of it.
and the lot's just
Yeah.
changed in recent times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because for
No, it really like even just us over the last like 3 or 4 months. It's not entirely different people, but a lot of things have changed in our day
yeah,
to day
and like
for the better.
it's interesting because you and I sit down to watch through the
Hmm.
episode to make sure like we enjoy watching it and listening to
Yeah.
it, and also to pull clips that we like and little highlights. And we noticed like a change in ourselves. I talked about,
Yeah.
when I was like kind of venting and like being like a little angry
Yeah.
in the podcast sometimes because it's just I'm getting a bunch of stuff off my chest, and those are the emotions associated with that stuff. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow, man, that's an angry me. That's I'm very angry in that clip, and or just upset in general and a little bit like negative, I guess. But I
Yeah.
feel
No, I get that.
better now. I think the podcast has helped me to express myself better.
Hmm.
And so now I'm
Yeah.
just like I'm a little bit more chill and not as like just angry all the time.
Yeah.
Even
And I think even I think even like sitting down to like rewatch, our videos, it's like almost a secondary healing process of being like, oh, like that's how I was, X amount of days or weeks or months ago. Like that's who I was then. I wouldn't say that now.
yeah,
Or
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 something's
or
changed.
I have a different outlook on that now. And
Or
it's
even the way
very
like
rewarding.
we poke fun at ourselves
And each other,
and
yeah.
each other like in the past. And what makes us like really good friends, like we can just kind of like talk shit about each other to each other's faces, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know, we love it.
Except when I cry. But we normally
I mean,
never
you
include
cry
those
a lot
clips.
anyway, so I don't notice if it's from me or if it's from something else. You're kind of a crybaby in general. That's the end of the episode, guys. Thank you for watching.
No.
But I mean, like it's
I was gonna
just
continue the bit, but
I just
it's
make fun
it's
of myself in these, like watching it back too. I'm just like, oh, why am I
yeah.
so angry there? What the fuck?
Same thing. Yeah, same thing with
I
with
think it's a great way of self reflection, which we do talk about, um,
yeah, we do.
and it's very important. I think this just going through these recordings is such a great way of
Hmm.
self reflection, and
Because it
it really helps us grow at a different rate than what we were growing at without recording ourselves and viewing it.
yeah, yeah. Because like we're literally seeing our past self like come out in video.
Yeah,
It's like that's how I was acting and reacting to scenarios at this time in my life. It's like like when we look back at it, it raises some questions like, would I react the same way now, or would it be exactly the same, or
yeah.
what I've learned through going through that anger.
Or is it like, do
It's
I am I this upset about it now? Like if
yeah,
something happened and it's more fresh, obviously I'm gonna be more upset
yeah.
about it. But then looking back at it now, I'm just like, maybe it wasn't that deep. Maybe it wasn't that big of a deal.
It
It
is.
make me more aware of how I'm coming off, but then also not
Mhm.
care as much either.
Yeah,
Because like I'm going to be who I am in this moment, no matter what. There's nothing I can do to
yeah,
change that or to make people want to like me more or something. Like I'm just gonna be me. And this,
yeah,
doing this, I think has made both of us more comfortable
yeah.
with
No,
ourselves.
I agree. Especially with I mean, we talked about it in the beginning of this episode, but just putting ourselves out there
Yeah,
and not really caring about what comes after. I mean, like I'm obviously still like concerned with my image in terms of my job my day job, but it's that overlap really doesn't happen often.
I
Um
think it's more of like
and
you're not scared of like, oh, I'm gonna say something that jeopardizes my job. I think we were more scared of like social anxiety, like being self conscious of ourselves, judging ourselves, not necessarily for like saying something super controversial, but just like,
I'm actually gonna disagree, which is
oh,
yeah, like because I've all I did 82 episodes with my last podcast, and that, like, when I started with them, I was 100% on the same page, that you are, but like we weren't even doing video. We were just doing audio, and I was just talking about games. So it was much more like lax, and not really like I wasn't the center of attention. I was just a background voice,
so yeah,
essentially.
I think really the Binding
Um,
of Isaac was really revolutionary for roguelikes.
Shut the fuck up. But but like with this, it's like my biggest worry was that, like, I was gonna say something that, like, someone who's close to me is gonna, like, either bring up and be like, hey, like, I don't like how you blah, 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 like not necessarily social anxiety, because I don't know, for the last few years I have really just stopped caring what other people think of me or perceive me as, because it's not worth my time.
Yeah. Well, I think also it's
And
like because you
it's
had
put me
that
into some
previous
bad
podcast
situations.
experience, 82 episodes. I have
Yeah.
not had that. You
Yeah.
have a lot more
Yeah.
experience in that than I do. And so it's like it's all new for me. But then
Hmm.
at the same time, it's like we get like those comments and we're both like
Yeah.
for like a couple seconds and we're
Those
like, wait, we're good. Wait, we're good.
we have like a little freak out, and then we're like, no, no, no,
we
we
both
got
have a
this.
little freak
We
out.
got
We
this.
come to the same conclusion.
We really did. We really did. And it was like, what, 8 hours after those comments came out, and we were like, yeah, this is hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, it is what it is. Like, if we're getting comments, we're getting comments. People are engaging with us, which is
That's good.
what I'm really
It's
excited about.
provoking thoughts. It's thought provoking,
It it is.
which
And I
is the goal.
I think that's what yeah, and I think that's even something we said, like, actually, I was going to say I thought we said it in the first episode, but we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. So um but I think we've talked about it in the past, that, like, we want
we
people to
talk
be.
so much more than what we put out. Like we have
No, we
like
really
4 or 5 hour conversations multiple times a week, and we still find things to talk about.
yeah.
It truly is
And,
like
and most of
I like
and most of those weeks we don't even record any of it.
yeah.
It's just
We haven't been recording for the past like 3 months. We still do it.
yeah.
Like and
Yeah.
it's been great. We've been bonding over it and the podcast. And I
Mhm.
really think our friendship has been deepened and enriched by
Oh,
all of
no
this.
doubt. No doubt, man.
Even like
It's
versus when we were living together.
Yeah, no, we really are. And like, it was weird for, a little bit when we moved out, because, like, you had to move back home, I moved back home, I was, figuring out
We're doing things
where
long
the fuck I'm
distance
going. And yeah, and we
because
were
like you moved
I moved back
back
home,
home. I was
and then
still
I
in our
moved
old
and then I
place,
moved.
and then you moved
Mhm.
again to a different place, and then
Yep.
I moved back to my home where I was
Yep.
from.
Yeah.
So that one comment where it's like, oh, our parents and stuff would be doing this in person, and it's like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck, you don't know me like
Shut
that,
the
you
fuck
don't know me
up.
like that. um but we were still able to figure it out, and we grow
Yeah.
closer as friends through
Uh-huh.
all this, which is
No, yeah.
fascinating because again we were in person, but I think we're closer now than we were
I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the coffin with that.
in the
It's
coffin.
been
What the fuck?
it's not the
Is
coffin,
our
sorry.
friendship dead?
No, no.
Is this the end of the TNC podcast? Just kidding. We're not called that anymore. It's
Yeah.
TNC and Arnie. So it
Talking
is
rocket cock.
Chocolate Cock.
All in all, it's been a journey, and I fucking love doing it.
Yeah.
It's
And
so
getting
so
into the
exciting.
online space that we both have been wanting to really get a foothold
Mhm.
in for a long time. Again, we're
Yeah.
not skyrocketing on the charts, but we're posting consistently. We're doing consistent work in the field that we want to be doing it in.
Yeah. We're like developing that mindset of the mindset that
Of
we will
creating.
have if we are like doing that full time, you know.
Yeah, and that we're just creating, which is really
We
fun.
are.
We're being creative, we're expressing ourselves, which is so healthy, especially
Mhm.
for, again, two young men approaching their mid-20s. Both of us
Exactly.
about to
And
be
that's why
24
yep,
and
very
very
soon.
soon, and we need to express ourselves, especially in these younger 20s years. It's very
Yeah.
important to find out who you are, express yourself. And yeah, this has just been a great resource because, again, I've kind of been known to be a depressed fuck, like and again, I I still have depression. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a lot happier now than where I
Yeah.
was.
You've done a lot of growing over the last couple of years. I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah,
And this is a very healthy space
yeah,
from
and also just like what we're
for you.
putting into it. I couldn't do this two
Yeah.
years ago when I was doing like other YouTube stuff. It was every like 3 months
Yeah. It was whenever you had the like mental energy to
to be able.
like sit
Yeah,
down and develop something like that. And now it's an everyday thing, which is
yeah. I think working
just
through
really
trauma.
awesome.
Again, I've been in therapy for the past couple years,
Yeah.
and just working through trauma does give you more energy. I feel like I have like
Mhm.
this bottle of energy, and but trauma is like the liquid that like takes up a lot of that space in your
Mhm.
mind, because you do burn a lot of
Yeah.
calories and stuff and use a lot of energy in your mind just thinking about the trauma if you haven't worked through it. So then going into
Yeah.
therapy, developing different methods on how to deal with stuff and asking the right questions, you like empty that bottle, you like kind of spill out some of the trauma, and you get more
Mhm.
space for your energy. And so,
Yeah.
you keep emptying the bottle, you're able to do more and more because you have more space to have energy.
Very well put.
I'm pretty good with
Very well
analogies.
put. Yeah, you are. You are. Sometimes, but most of the time, it's
Take that back.
no. It's already in the video.
I'll cut it out.
Jesus Christ! You pulled that fucking mic so quickly.
I'll edit it out, but you need to take it back. I'll hold this episode hostage until you take it back.
It was like a frame on my screen that it was like
I saw
you
it in
were
the corner of
here,
my
and then
eye.
it was
It
like
was like boom.
boom.
I almost like hit myself in the face because I legitimately wasn't looking. I was just like, that's how. That's
That's
how.
how you.
Listen, man, it was a mistake for my little bro to get me this like mic arm for Christmas. It was a mistake.
Too much freedom now.
You can't control me.
It's been a really good couple months, and I don't know if we'll ever be like dropping episodes right after we record them. I doubt it,
No,
but
but I think
like
there is a possibility in the future we could go every week.
yeah, yeah.
I even, even one of our friends says like, I wish you'd do it every week.
And it's
I
like
think I think we are
okay,
working up our workload to be able to do that.
yeah,
Slowly but
yeah,
surely.
and
But
and
slow
that was
sustainable growth is the most important thing.
mhm, yeah, and that was something that I said in the beginning that like that's something that we wanted to do, weekly, but for both of our schedules, it made sense to start off with 2 weeks and then work our way up to that, which could happen, or maybe it won't happen in the future. Who
Yeah.
knows? But
But
regardless, it's been a hell of a ride that I want to continue with.
celebrating 1 month in TNC.
Yeah.
We're just having fun with it. We're being
Oh,
creative with this shit.
yeah, yeah, and
I know this episode has been a lot
we
about
will.
like, I don't know. It's been like meta about talking about our own like
Mhm.
podcast. But it's,
Yeah.
reflecting is really good. We haven't recorded in 3 months, and just like talking about what this does for us is, I think,
Mhm.
very genuine, authentic.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like we've said like, oh, it's been really good, like 50
Yeah, I
times
know.
during
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah.
One last thing I did want to talk
Yeah.
about is
Yeah.
change in
Throw it in the ring.
quality of the videos
Yeah.
over the past, I guess, 2 episodes before this. A little bit
Mhm.
of increase in quality. We're slowly but surely increasing not only our workflow, but the quality of our product, you know?
Mhm. And in this episode, this will be the first time with my new camera. Shout out Razer.
True.
And I have
And he actually has the legit
some
ring light, you know,
yeah,
one kind of like this. He kind of shines at his face. And if I
better.
do that, um, it's just like the fucking sun like, on my fucking face.
That was so bright. That was brighter than mine was earlier.
Ah! Like a vampire. So we've been working our asses off, and
Mhm.
we appreciate it, and we hope you do too. And
Yeah.
if you want to check out all things TNC, make sure you go to all my links, because that's where you can find.
allmylinks.com/TNC pod. Come on, Ryan. You know the
I was
outro by
literally
now.
about to explain it, and then you just ruined my thunder.
No,
I
no,
think
no, no, dude.
you,
No, no, no.
you just kind
No,
of
you don't even know what's our all my links? What is it?
it's all my links.com
What is
slash
it? What is it? No, no,
TNC
no.
pod.
No. See? You took too long. You have no idea what it is.
I'm literally looking at the link right now. I have our YouTube channel open.
Nope.
You really ruined my
You're
thunder. I
incorrect.
wanted to do this
You're
outro,
incorrect.
and then you just stole everything.
He's really committing.
Just committing to my feelings.
He took the glasses off and everything.
Well, no, they were. I made myself cry, but I have to wipe away the tears. They were actual tears. Like, I can't just like suck them back in. It's like, all right, bit's over.
That's what I do.
Hey, you don't cry. I've never seen you have a tear come out of your eye.
You literally said earlier that I cry all the time. So what is it?
You cry, but
What's
it's a
the
dry
truth?
cry. It's very weird. You're like, but like no tears, no snot, anything. And like you gotta have a straight face when you do it too. You're like, oh. Thank you so much for watching TNC with RNE, aka the Talking Cock Podcast. If you want more Talking Cock Podcast content, allmylinks.com/TNC pod. We love you so much. Thanks for watching, and we're gonna keep giving you some great content. And with
The
it,
juiciest, lightheartedest
uh,
men's mental health
men's
est
mental healthiest
podcast est.
podcast ass. Yeah. Podcast ass.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Our podcast is ass.
Talking talk with podcast ass.
With that being said,
Peace
we'll
out.
see y'all
Y'all.
later. Peace.